Off the Record with Nate and Jeff. Unfiltered, unscripted, unapologetic. Welcome to Off the Record, where the conversations go deeper than the surface, and nothing is ever off limits. With your hosts, Nate, bringing wisdom, real-life experience, and that straight truth, and Jeff, bringing perspective, edge, and the questions everybody's thinking. This isn't for the cameras. This isn't for the headlines. This is Off the Record.
Welcome to this week's episode of Off the Record. I'm one half of your host, Nate, and then that's the other half, Jeff.
Hey, where my name at on the stream? You know,
it's
people
right there.
See my name. You need to make it big, and when it comes on the stream, it need like go ba ba something like that. You know, like
only if I knew how to do that, then I could do it. That's what successful people do. We just regular people right now.
Regular people that we doing? Okay,
yeah, we just regular people. We trying to figure this out.
Yeah, what's going on with you, brother? Tell me how your week been? How your week been?
My week been pretty good. Last week not so good, but this week a little bit better.
Look, you start selling drugs, you'll be all right. You know.
Oh no, that I stopped doing that when I joined the military, brother.
So what y'all call them? Chickens?
Chickens, yeah, falcons.
Birds and falcons.
Yeah. We call them eagles.
Eagles.
That's why I became a warrant officer, because I wanted to be back with the Eagles.
That was said back with the Eagles.
Yeah.
But, you know what? Let's get this party started. Okay, let's see. So I know basically what we want to talk about. We always look at success. You need to get you a towel, man. What you see? Yeah. See, I got ready to go. Get a towel.
That's old man stuff.
Because I'm old, but. See, stop distracting me, man. We got to get into it now, okay, man? Hey, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. We only got 4 hours on this thing, okay? So, like I said,
all right.
When you get older, or matter of fact, when you're younger, you think about it, right? When you decide to go a warrant officer and you had to split from your friends, you know, the EFO mafia, or you know, like for some of us, you know, we just probably made staff sergeant. And, you know, we were fresh out in the book, and we had like. You hang around people you want to be around, right? You emulate stuff because you want to be successful yourself. So when you think about success, you know, unfortunately, when you're trying to be successful, you have to leave certain people behind as you move forward. And it's not that you want to leave behind. It's because you got a plan. And unfortunately, some people ain't with your plan. You know how they say, like, some folks ain't kin folks? I would say, some people ain't with your plan. So when you think about your plan as you try to move forward, some of the questions I'm going to ask you, like, so when you first started knowing that you want to be successful, right?
Yeah.
Some of the friends you had, did they stick with you through the whole process, or did you lose some of your friends as you were going forward? Because, you know, I ask you that all the time. You know, successful people, everybody keeps saying, you know, it's lonely at the top. It's lonely up here, right? But, you know, a lot of people are successful together. And I thought, you know, because like I say, you're successful with me. We can go together.
I can't be successful. You see this?
I see that. I see it. And tell me, he ain't fast enough.
We'll move. I'm recording. You messing up our show.
I know that.
Okay. Go watch TV. Sorry, I'm just successful people don't deal with that. So it shows you my level of success is not that high.
It is high.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
See? That's supposed to do. See, you gotta leave that in there. Don't cut that out. Okay, you gotta leave that in, okay? That's what the part of the show
This shows
is.
that we're not successful or professional.
No, it just shows we're not professional.
Definitely. But to answer your question, so as we all do when we're young, you know, we have a ideal of success, and for most of us, that ideal of success kind of, as we grow, usually that the idea of success grows, it evolves with us. You know, younger me thought graduating high school was successful, getting a job, you know, like at Mickey D's or something, because that's the goal that I had. That's what I could see, because that was something really in the neighborhood that was kind of it. So as I realized that wasn't it, then yes, like you said, you do. I hate to say that our parents was right when they say stuff, birds of a feather flock together, the
Oh,
fruit don't fall
motherfucker.
far
Look,
from the tree. All
man.
those things, show me your friends, I can show you your future, right? All those things, and I would say for me in my life, they are true. And one thing that I realized, when I want it better, that doesn't mean that people around you want better, because they only can see what they can see. Their imagination or their whatever is only limited to their exposure. So for me, a lot of it was like, yeah, this guy, people start calling you weird or like whatever because you're
Or you
trying to
think you better
be,
than us?
yeah, trying to be different. But like I tell them, and I said this before, you can outgrow people, situations, but you'll never outgrow yourself. You always want to be a better version of yourself. And the best version of yourself is going to be the self that's always saying, okay, like setting a goal that's hard for you to get. You know what I'm saying? So for me, a lot of it was just really, to be honest, man, I had to leave people away, or I had to leave
Hmm.
people behind. And sometimes, that's dead weight, and a
Yeah.
lot of times people don't understand that. So, that's me personally. Like, there was people that I had to leave behind, but also there was people that had to leave me behind, because at one point I was that dead weight to them. So it's double-edged sword for me. What about you?
I mean, that's understandable. Cause like I say,
Yeah.
you don't want to outgrow your friends. 'Cause I tell people, like you went back, you said high school, right? Back then when we go to high school, that was an achievement, right? For us at that time point, because you look at success, it's the steps, right? So your
Yeah.
first step was graduating high school, right? So
Yeah.
shit, many people don't graduate high school.
Yeah,
So
you're
shit,
right about that.
you graduate high school, so that's good. And then at some point you realize that, hey, I want something better. I don't
Yeah.
want to sit here in this spot right here. I want to do this. I want to do that. And I always tell people my motivation was always, like you said, I want to be better than what I was.
Yeah.
My parents always told me, hey, be better than me. And unfortunately, my parents both educators, so they kind of put the bar up there kind of high.
Yeah, too bad they did
you
not
know,
get that out of their son.
Oh no, I could be an educator. Oh God, I hate kids. Okay, I love my kids and
Yeah.
some other people kids, but no, I can't do kids like that, especially high school. You talk to high schools, DJ? Oh God,
Yeah.
they're horrible. But coming in the army, I tell people that that's the first thing I noticed when I was in college,
Yeah.
when I wanted to take harder classes, and the guys I was hanging out with, they were like, "Man, you want to be a nerd? Why you want to be a nerd? Why you want to hang out with those preppy people? You trying to act white?" I like, you
Yeah.
know what? If acting white get me money, I guess I'm gonna be white. I,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell them. It's like why
Yeah.
not try to be
And
successful?
And I think that, and I know it was, and I'll use myself for example, because and it's funny because like in our community we clown people for trying to do better, and you'll see stuff
Hmm.
like, but like me, man, like I was really smart, just naturally smart. Luckily, I don't even know how I got to be as smart or educated that as I am. And I used to hate it because you didn't want to be a nerd. You didn't want to be like, I took honor classes and I was like, bro, like really cool people
Habit.
aren't in honor classes.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
there we
saying? So
go.
like I'm
Yeah.
cool, but I got honors math, honors science or whatever. And they like, man, Nate a nerd. I'm like, no, I'm just smart. Like y'all. But what I did
Or
was I
or
would
they're just
act out.
dumb.
Who, yeah.
Or they're just dumb.
Yeah, they wasn't the
The brightest.
shiniest tool in the toolbox. But really it goes to show, like, when people would chastise you or criticize you for being different, like being like, even in school, and then I realized how important it was, and if nothing else, being smart is important. Having good grades is important. You think that it's not important now, but when you start getting,
Hmm.
especially sixth grade and up, like I tell my daughter, sixth grade and up, people are looking at you. Everything starts following you. So they say, hey, look, you was making C's in the sixth grade. That may potentially stop you from getting a scholarship. That's why
Yeah.
all these programs reward being top of the class, because it shows something. It shows that you set yourself apart. And for me, that was something that I didn't understand, because I really didn't try to, again, I don't know, man. I really didn't want to be that guy. Like, oh, he think he better than us. I mean, well, you think I'm better than you. So a lot of it was that. So that until I got older, and I'll say I really noticed it when I first joined the military because I was older, and I realized like, man, yeah, being successful in the military is totally different because, like you said, once you become an NCO, you got to stop hanging around the E4
Mm-hmm.
mafia. They mad that you ranking up, but I'm like, bro, we all had the same opportunity. Why are you mad
Yeah.
at me? You know, that was one of the biggest things when I joined the military because I ranked up and made rank fast, and people was hating. I'm like, they're telling you what to do to get promoted. So the
Step
reason
by
you're not
step
promoted
butler.
is all on you. I mean, you know, and then they would get mad. But at the end of the day, like I tell them, if I'm successful, then if you see that somebody in your circle is successful, then that should motivate you to do the same thing.
And that brings me to the thing about what you was saying, that sometimes you got to transition to a different environment.
Yeah,
You know, that like the group you hanging out with, they was cool for that time. That's what
yeah,
you needed at that time in life. But as you matured and understand that, hey, now that I'm trying to work on a game plan to be successful, I need to start taking steps to get there. Cause like you
yeah,
said about school, right? So it's a lot of things that some people didn't tell me. You know, my parents were educated. You know, they were going to school the same time I was going to school, but they never emphasized, you know, hey, get the grades. They always said it, but you know, parents, you know, when you got the real parents that's on your butt every day, you bring the phone
yeah,
call home, you trying to hide and stuff. I had my parents wasn't that bad.
yeah,
They were bad, but they wasn't that bad. But they just wanted me to pass and stuff like that. But when you talk about success with people and trying to get them on the same game plan with you sometimes you have to take them out that environment, right?
yeah,
And then when you grow up in a certain environment, that environment affects how you are. Because everybody keeps saying that, well, if you grow up in a bad environment, you can't be successful. That's a lie.
yeah,
All you have to do is get out that environment or see yourself outside the environment. Because that's what some kids can't see, or some people, period. They can't
yeah,
see themselves past where they're at. Because you
yeah,
said it earlier, right? They think about the now and
yeah,
not the future and
yeah,
what can I be in the future. And that's what I was telling people. People ask me why I joined the Army. I realized that in the environment that I was in, even though I was smart, I was just like you. I didn't want to be labeled as a nerd. You know,
yeah,
I want to be cool. I want to be in. I tell like my kids say, I want to be in those streets.
yeah.
Okay, but those streets ain't giving me nothing. You know,
No, they
it's
don't.
fun. It's fun hanging out with your friends and stuff like that. But guess what? Fun don't pay bills. You
Yeah,
know, like that little girl told me when I realized that, she said, "Hey, your love ain't gonna pay my light bill. I don't care how much you love me. It's not
yeah,
gonna pay this bill this month." Oh,
yeah.
what?
You know, and for me, I'll tell you one of the things that kind of humbled me and kind of made me, it really pushed me. I have a cousin named Brandon. Brandon is way younger than me. He's like my younger cousin. And so Brandon, he went to college and he didn't stop going to college until he got his master's degree. So by the time he
Mm,
was 22, he had his master's degree. And I was like, dang, man, at the time, I might have had associates. And I felt some type of way because I'm like, bro, he 22, he got a master's degree, he's doing everything, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just barely doing anything. But that just showed me like when you put your mind in something,
mhm.
like you can do it. Like, you know, he was going to school during the summers, he was doing all this stuff while other people were out doing whatever, like he was doing school. Now he already has what a lot of people are chasing. You know, I got my
Yeah.
master's degree in 2024, you know, so I was, I don't know, 41. I don't know. I ain't good with math. You know what I'm saying? But I
Oh
got
my
it.
God, that wasn't that long ago. Fucking A,
Nah.
man.
Yeah,
It
I'm
was like 2
hey,
years
the
ago.
numbers,
How you
man.
are now, take two away from it.
Yeah. Yeah, but you got to carry that too. But
Well,
you know, so that was one of the things that motivated me. I was like, okay, man, if he can get his master's degree, then let me go
why
ahead and
can't
get
I?
mine, right? But it goes to like you say, like what I've noticed is when you're in a room with winners, the conversations are different. When you're in a room with people that have something going on, yes, you'll talk about. And I was telling my wife that it's a difference between having a conversation what did I say? Having a conversation and communicating, right? Having a conversation is me and you could be talking about, hey man, did you watch the new show, right?
Hmm.
But I think communicating is when you're trying to get people to understand. But a lot of people can't even have the conversations. Like a lot of time I find myself talking about politics. I find myself talking about,
That's a
hey,
big
how
no-no.
did you do this? How did you do that? Conversations that when I was, younger, I really thought were like, man, why are people talking about the economy? Why are people talking about this? But those things are important, but it shows that those people are tied in. And like
Yeah,
that's what I'm learning. Like the conversations are different. When somebody asks you like, hey man, what you got going on with life? Hey, are you investing? Those conversations are only uncomfortable to people who don't have nothing going on. You know what I'm saying?
but that's a good thing to say. Like when you say your cousin, right? When he was going to
Yeah.
school, you had the guilt in you to say, hey, you know what? You saw
Yeah.
what you would like him. And instead of you just, hating on him,
Yeah.
what you did, you say, you know what? That's motivation.
Yeah.
I need to go and catch up. And that's where some of us, fall short when we look at things. We look at success or we see somebody climbing the ladder. Instead of us cheering that person on, we be like the crabs in the bucket. We
Yeah.
want to pull them back down instead of lifting them up. So I'm glad that you recognize that, hey, you know what? That's what I want to do. And I tell people all the time, hey, why not do something to make you successful if you can? Especially if
Yeah.
you got the means to do it. Because I tell my son all the time, hey, look here, no girl's gonna be there. But
Yeah.
that time that you're wasting, it's gonna be done. Because you're
Yeah.
gonna look back and you can know how old you are when you got your master's degree. So it's
Yeah.
like it's gonna be like that. Okay, you was 43. But anyway, like so
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
that's the
You're
thing
right.
we gotta look at. And you said those conversations that made people uncomfortable, though if they don't make you uncomfortable, that
Uh-huh.
mean that you are doing something wrong or that you need
Yeah.
to do something in your life to get there so you can come. Because
Yeah.
when you ask me about investing, right? First time I say, hey man, what are you investing in?
Yeah.
Because you probably doing great. Because I remember, Will could Will invest. Will goddamn
Yeah.
fucking millionaire right now. So I asked him about his portfolio. Hey, what do you have in your portfolio that I
Yeah.
need to see that I can put in my portfolio so that it can build me up? Because all I'm trying to do is be successful like him. And that's what
Yeah.
successful people do. Successful people drag other successful people with them, especially if you want to be successful.
Yeah.
And that's the key
Yeah.
when people talk about uncomfortable conversation. Not supposed to be on if it's uncomfortable, right? But at some point, you got to ask yourself, am I uncomfortable because I don't know, or uncomfortable because I'm jealous? Or I'm
Yeah.
uncomfortable because I don't want to be with that thing. Because jealousy is horrible. It
Oh
is
yeah.
ugly. I
Jealousy
tell
is
people all the
hard.
time, it is so ugly. And I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be jealous of another person being successful. I'm gonna clap because you supposed to uplift. That's our problem we have in our community a lot. With that crab in the bucket, man.
Yeah.
Crabs in the goddamn bucket.
I was watching this interview. I think it was Tristan Thompson, and he was saying like like when you make it to the league, one of the things that they
Hmm.
do like is they'll make the rookies, they'll take them to a restaurant, and spend 50, 60,000, whatever, whatever. And he was saying that him and a few of his teammates had went out for lunch. You know what I'm saying? So now they all got money, they all millionaires in their own right. And he was saying that they were embarrassed to split the bill because people looked at them like, oh, they got money, why would they split the bill? So what they would do is one person would be like, no, I got it. You know what I'm saying? But that just, it goes to show like how how
Fucked
certain
up
things,
society is.
yeah, yeah, how success makes you feel uncomfortable because again, I didn't order that food. You know what I'm saying? Like, why should I have to pay for it? Yeah, maybe I have more money, but you don't know my circumstance. You don't know
Yeah.
my situation. So I'm trying to look big. But hey, at the end of the day, if we all went out at 8 and you ordered this and I ordered that, we could split this bill because that's what normal people
Hmm.
do.
And I would say,
You know?
and your success shouldn't make you feel guilty. And I would say that comes with jealousy, right?
Yeah,
Because if people sitting there being jealous of your success and asking you all kind of questions about
yeah,
this and make you feel bad, like why you got your master's degree? Well,
yeah,
why are you investing in that rate? Like I
yeah,
say, we go back to that part, like, are you better than me? Yeah,
yeah,
I am better than you. And you shouldn't say it like that, but I'm just saying, in your mind, and I tell most people when people ask me questions like that about school or how you got your degree and stuff like that, I'm like, you asking the right questions now.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, like one thing that I always tell people, like I've never been a hater when it comes to somebody being successful. Um, just because one, it feels good to see somebody that make it, even
Hmm.
if you don't know them. I like to see people make it, right? Like in the military, like I've seen some of my soldiers make it all the way to, whatever rank. And I'm like, man, this is great. Like, even if they pass me, that's cool because that means I got them somewhere that I couldn't go. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing because a lot of times people will be like, I remember when I was trying to make staff sergeant and all this stuff and people was hating, they ain't want to help you. I'm like, bro, why? Like, why is, if we supposed to be battle buddies or whatever, then why don't you want to see me being successful? Even because you have to be, because success is defined differently with everybody that you talk. My level of success, like, bro, I made it to E5. To me, that was very successful because I came in as a E1 and I was never planning on being it. So, making it all the way to W4 prior to me getting out, I'm like, bro, I'm I've done everything that I could imagine to do, but I'm not going to get mad if one of my battle buddies, if one of my battle buddies make W5 or W4 or whatever, or made it quicker than me. Hey, good. I'm glad somebody that I know could do it because
Hmm.
prior to that, I didn't know people could do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those are the things, like you said, like, and I was saying that because I was thinking about, and I think I told you before, like I remember one time I was talking to a 2-star. And, people are so nervous to talk to 2-star generals or whatever. But not all, some of them are like, they are waiting for people to come talk to them,
Yeah.
because nobody talks to them, and they like to laugh and they like to do all this. And I'm like, man, I wish that people could understand that because when people see you successful, they see like, oh man, this person at the top, like they don't have a sense of humor. Why not? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
they still human. You know what I'm saying?
They
So
still.
really what we do is it's not the successful person isolating themselves. It's the less successful people saying, oh, well, that person acting brand new, or I don't want to be around that person. Well, that's your choice. I'm still the same person that I came in here to be. And that's one thing that I always tried to pride myself on. I'm always gonna be me. I'm always gonna be a kid from Florida. Now I know when
Yeah,
to
yeah,
turn
we
that
know.
on.
We know. We know. We know.
Now
We
I
know.
know when to
And
turn
you
that
don't, and
on.
you don't, no, 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 you do not. No, you
I
do not.
do.
No, no.
I do know
Okay, okay.
I know how to turn that on and to
Hey,
turn that
look,
off.
yeah. You know how to turn it on. I don't know about off, but you know how to turn it on, though. You're right. You heard me say right there. I wipe my head off from that, like in church. In church, yeah.
But
He know how to turn it on, sugar.
but again, my thing is like at the end of the day, I never had a problem with people talking to me because I understand like we all started somewhere. So for me, it's lonely at the top because people don't want to mess with you no more. Really, that's all it
Mhm.
is.
And I'll tell people that, like, like being the only W4 in the brigade, a lot of
Yeah.
people avoid me all the time. And I'm
Yeah.
like, why y'all avoiding me? I say, I talked to this one soldier, and the one soldier, he was shaking when he was talking to me. I said, dude, what's wrong with you? I said, you got the pee? He like, no, sir. I say, oh my God, he got a stuttering problem. Oh shit. And I thought I did something wrong,
Yeah.
because you don't want to pick up somebody for a
Right.
disability,
Yeah.
because it's not his fault. But he said he was nervous because, everybody was saying that, Chief's a mean, Chief this right here. And he said, when he talked to me, he said, you sound like my older brother. He said, can I ask him? I said, hey,
Yeah.
are you going to
Older
school?
brother.
You know what? Shut up. Because first I asked him, because like I say,
Yeah.
I'm interested in his success. I said, hey, have you signed up for school?
Yeah.
I said, you need to sign up for civilian education. 'Cause I said, when you going to the board? Because, he was a specialist. He said, well, I haven't started studying. I said, so why you not studying for? I said, you can
Yeah.
start studying now. So when you go to the board, you'll be good to go. I said, so when you eligible? He said, well, I'm eligible to that. I said, okay, so let's think about this right. You're eligible now. So next week when I come talk to you, you're going to tell me some board stuff. You're going to tell me stuff I forgot. We
Yeah.
good? And then you need to start working on this right here. Where you see yourself in 5 years? He said, well, I want to see if I can go on. I said, okay, great. That what I want to hear. I said,
Yeah.
so where this at. Start asking me questions about things because I'm interested in success. I tell everybody thing. I have not gotten where I got right now without help from other people. My success is off the back of other people. I tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
I said if people didn't encourage me, didn't help me along the way, I would never be successful. Cause you know how it is. Some days you got those days you feel like, hey, everybody beat down on you. You like, I
Yeah.
don't even know how I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's
Believe
going.
me. Yeah.
Especially when we went through training. You know, we went to training when we went through walks. It was hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
actually hard. And you sit in that room crying like, oh my God, they gonna kill me.
Yeah. And the one thing, like, what I like for me, like, what I realize is, man, what success gave me was a peace of mind.
Mhm.
Because it was so many things that I didn't have to worry about. And let's be honest, success means money. When you making more money,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you're a lot happier because a lot
I
of
don't know. Big and small say more money, more problems.
hey,
I'm putting
well,
that way.
no money and
He tell
all the problems. I'd rather have more
yeah.
problems than all the
He say more-
than all
he
the
say,
problems. No money, all the problems. More money, more problems, but no money,
yeah.
all the problems. But a lot of it is like, man, like success. Sometimes I'd be like, man, there's so many things that I don't got to worry about that makes me. I can deal with certain things a little bit better because I'm like, okay, yeah. Like if my car break down, I'm like, okay, yeah, I got it. Cars break down. Now, if I ain't got no money in my car break down, the world ending. Like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? I might have to, like you said, go get an eagle and sell it or something.
I thought it was a chicken.
A chicken too, one of them too. Yeah, chicken or eagle, a dairy farm product or something.
But you talk about like the success that way too. But I tell people all types of success, right?
Yeah,
What at a time frame that you see in your life? Because I know there might be some younger listeners listening and say, I ain't got no money yet. Yeah, but you have to build the steps to get the success,
yeah,
And then because in the grand thing about it, what do you see success? Because some people say, hey, I got a wife, I got
yeah,
2 healthy kids, a
yeah,
house, and a car. That still take money, but in the
yeah,
end, you can say, hey,
yeah.
I work hard
That's
enough
personal
to
success.
that I
Yeah,
can get all this stuff for my family. Because in the end, especially for men, the thing we think about is our family, and women the same way. Because women want to support us in our success, and that goes back to my topic. When you get a partner,
yeah.
get a partner that is got the
Adds
same
to
game
you.
plan as you is. Yeah, you got to do
Yeah,
the same game plan.
yeah.
Y'all can't be like you. Go ahead.
And society makes it for a man, like success looks so different for men and
Oh
women.
God. Oh yes.
For a man, like, because man, we can't, it's almost like we can't be average. It's like everything that we do has to be heightened. And it's like for women, like if you do like something that's normal, like, oh, they be like, oh my God, you know, whatever. And I'm not trying to be, you know, sexist or anything, but that's just what it is.
Oh, turn
Something that
turn that float off. Turn that float.
no, so but for men, because we're held to a higher standard, because we are supposed to be the head of the household. We're supposed to be this,
The
supposed to be that.
provider.
Like we have a lot of challenges and a lot of things that's put on our plate that we like, man, like you question your success sometime, like you said, but you have
Mhm.
to have, like you said, you have to have the right partner. And that grows to, like you said, growing, outgrowing people. And I remember Dion, I think, the Dion, what's that guy name? He a
Oh, Deion
comedian.
Sanders?
No,
Oh,
Dion
Deion
Cole. I
Cole.
think Dion
Yeah,
Cole. He
it's
was
Deion Cole.
telling this joke about when he was dating, and when he was dating, like he was saying it was probably he was talking about women. It was like he was like, hey, when women are dating, he said it's some people you should have um met at some level, told them, hey, goodbye, and went to the next level. But what you chose to do is you chose to stay at that level, and then you stopped growing. And that just kind of
Mhm.
made me think. It was like, yeah, man, how many of us have tried to put our growth on the back burner because we wanted to fit into this certain crowd? And really, we just slowed down or delayed our blessings or our growth. And like for some of us, it may deny us a lot of things. Like for me, right? Um, I joined the army when I was 23 years old, 5 years later than I wanted to. But also, I never wanted to join the army. So 23 years sooner than I wanted to. But the people that, like, when I the people that I was hanging around was really negative about the military. So like I had a negative connotation about the military.
Mm-hmm.
Once I got in and the conversation was different, I was like, the military is not bad at all. And so those are the things, like you say, man, you really have to look at who you hang around, because it's kind of like music. If I want to fight, I listen to fight music. If I
Oh
want to,
yes.
you know what I'm saying?
Take the club up.
If I want to
Take the
relax, I'll
club
listen
up.
to some jazz. Because we want to be influenced. And regardless if we want to be influenced or we don't want to be influenced, the things around, when we talk about environment, make sure you're in the right environment. Those things are going to influence us. And a lot of times, a lot of us are in the wrong environment. If you take the
Yes.
same person with the same mindset and you put them somewhere else, they'll thrive because they have the right skill set. They just in the wrong environment.
Mm-hmm. And you talking about that, 'cause I tell people when I want to go back to school, get my master's, right? Everybody that I talked to about it that was in my group at that time, they was like, why you getting the master's for? What you need it for? Like, you don't need a master's degree for it. I mean, just being 100% negative. Then I
Yeah.
talked to this one person, and he overheard the conversation. He said, your friends are wrong. He said, when you stop trying to learn new things, you stop growing. He said, if you ready to stop growing like your height is right now, I think he was talking about me being short too. So he kind of gave me a backward compliment.
Yeah.
Sorry, bastard. But he was right. He said, why stop learning?
Yeah.
We said all this time, right? Be a oh shit, I fucked
Yeah.
up.
Lifelong learner.
learner. There we go,
Yeah.
lifelong learner, right? You should always learn something new.
Yeah.
Like always read a book a month. Always do this right here until you hang around those people. Cause like I say, it goes back to reading a book a month, right? I talked to a couple people about starting a book club. They look at me like I'm crazy. They say, well, what are you, your old grandmama? I said, no, I just want to read more. And I said, I don't want to read no fancy books, stuff like that. I want to
Yeah.
read books about technology.
Self-improvement. Yeah. Things that's going to
want,
make you better. Yeah.
self-improvement, stuff about the stock market and stuff. And then I happened to go to Barnes and Noble. And I met these men that was over 50, right? Everyone was over 50. And they was doing a book group. Now, you over 50 years old. Why are you looking at a book trying to gain muscle? Right? And I asked the man that. He said, just because I'm 50 don't mean I can't still crack these heads. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I said, okay. But
Yeah.
he said, but he came back, he said, I want to live to be to 100. So for me to do that, I have to improve on getting knowledge on how to do that.
Yeah.
And then he said, well, next we're going to work on investing. I need to invest to live for 50 more years. The first 50 year of my years cost a lot of money. I'm pretty sure the next 50 year of my years is going to cost more money. And that's what we start doing. So every month we start getting a new book to read about stuff to improve. And between them and then they say, hey, now let's get that master's degree. And every time I struggle, because like I say, you went to school to get your master's degree. It's hard. It's not an easy task. But when you got people around you,
if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Everybody be doing it. That's right.
Yeah.
So getting my master's degree, and when I was doing it, it was hard, but it was other people around me doing the same thing. And I walk and ask them the same thing. They're like, hey, man, we in this together. We're going to graduate this date right here. Let's keep going. And I'm thinking about going back to school now again, because everybody keep talking about get this degree and this, get a degree. And I like some bull crap, tired of school. But just because I'm tired, it's tired because I'm around people I'm around. But when you change your environment, which I have again, people saying, let's do this. We can go to school now. So
yeah, and and that goes back to like people don't understand what you got going on. People are not always gonna understand you. So a lot of times people you're gonna be misunderstood because people just don't see what you see. Like they say, everybody don't see your vision. Everybody don't see what you see. You know, everybody doesn't do these things. And that's okay. Sometimes being misunderstood is good because it separates you from the naysayers, people who are not
yeah.
gonna believe in you. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when I was gonna put my warrant packet in, boy, I ain't
man.
never seen so many people
Oh,
that
man.
was hating. I was like, what? It's people that don't like me because I'm trying to do better in life. Saying you ain't ready. Are you really ever ready to do anything? That's what I tell
No,
people. Are you really ever
no.
ready to do anything? No, you just try. And then once you get it, then you become the best that you can at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what makes you successful is you're trying, you're like you said, you're consistently growing. Cause the idea of being the best is far fetched, to be honest.
Yeah.
But like I tell people, and this is something that we don't think about, right? So when you think about anything where there's a ranking, football, basketball, army, whatever, there's always, every year somebody has to finish first.
Yeah.
Every year.
Someone
Every
have to be
year,
number one.
and somebody has to finish last. That's just how it works. Now, this year it could be this person. The next year it could be this person. But every year someone has to finish first. Why don't you try to be that person that finished first? You
There
know
you
what I'm
go.
saying?
Chase that dream. Yeah, chase the dream.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was something, because I was like, man, I was like, the NBA championship, I was just thinking about that. Like, every year somebody got to win it. And it doesn't matter what your record is. You could be 42 and 40. It don't matter. You won the championship. It could be a team that was
Is
73
that
and
good?
9. No,
Is that
42
good
and
for
40
it?
is horrible.
That
That
is
means you barely, yeah.
I barely
Yeah,
made
you
it.
barely made it. But it goes to show, at the end of the day, somebody has to win the championship every year.
Mhm.
At the end of the whatever, like in the military, like I tell people, at the end of the day, in your MOS, somebody's saying that somebody's the best. And
Yeah.
I'd rather for my name to be in that pool than not be in that pool. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's what success looks like. To me, success is people saying, hey, that's somebody that I know I can go to. And it's a lot of people that I can't say that I would go
Yeah.
to.
And that, I agree with you 100%. You can't keep chasing that dream.
Yeah.
Even if you can't be number one, but if you always trying to be number one, iron sharpens iron. I tell somebody all the time, right? If you keep trying to be better than everybody,
Yeah.
one of these days you might reach that goal. Like I keep telling you, man, you can play for the NBA one day, man. You got to get one of those knees fixed, but other than that, you got to keep trying. Don't give up on that dream, man. And that brings me to my next point where I say, people are sitting there, first of all, trying to make you feel guilty for your success because you are trying to better yourself. And that's one thing I would never understand. I tell people all the time, when like you said earlier, I see my friend. I see you doing good. Like I tell you, when you got out, your skin look better. You dressing better all the time. You look good, and I'm happy for you because you are enjoying your life and you trying to improve yourself to be better out here in society. Why wouldn't I be happy for you? That in the end, I just want you to be happy. I want you to be miserable, sitting in the house, in a dark corner. I want you to be happy with decisions that you made and that you seen yourself growing and coming to another point in your life where you can see different types of success.
Yeah.
Cause I tell people, it's no time to stop being successful, but it's hard when you got so many people out there trying to look at your success and they are jealous of your success or resentment of you being successful. I never say cause like I said, you got out. I'm not saying, well, man, Garrett screwed us over because he got out. He don't care nothing about us no more. No. Are you happy? And we saw when your son came there, he happy. He happy. I say, but that's what it's about. Success, it comes in many ways, but as long as you actually trying to improve your environment, improve your family, improve people around you, you always gonna be sick. People don't see it. It's like a light. It's like a light bulb. You gonna be that shining light that they're gonna try to start to reach up to. So why not? So I know right now, one thing I'm jealous of right now, is that shirt that you got on. I actually like that shirt. So we're gonna talk about this. You always dressing better than me. I need to stop wearing t-shirts and get me a little button down shirt.
You gotta become grown.
Get my life together. I got to be grown.
You gotta shop in the 50 and over section to get this type of shirt.
But resentment is horrible, man. I never seen that before in my life where people just resent your success because you are successful.
Yeah. And the one thing about success that I like, and I'll say, like, success made me really want to outgrow drama. Like, man, my sister said that the other day. She was like, hey, anytime they start acting up, y'all know my nickname, man. She'd be like, y'all know man finna leave. I said, yeah. I said, because it don't take all that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for me, when the drama starts, it's too much because it's just too much because I have something going on. And that's what I be telling people. Like, when I go somewhere and drama start and something could happen, I'd be like, I have too much to lose to be letting somebody else taint my reputation or whatever. And I was like, if you don't feel that type of way, then you probably don't need to hang around me, because
Mhm.
that shows that you respect, what I'm doing. And for
Mhm.
yourself, you should do it, because, being in the newspaper, that ain't cool, for something negative. So it's just stuff like that, man. Like, that's when you're really growing. Like, success is, and like you said, success isn't, you don't have to be no millionaire. Success could be, you, like you said, you having a family that you want, and you're successful in your personal life. You could be success in your finance. You could be success in your, in your physical, because a lot of people, like, for me, one of the biggest things I wanted to do when I got out of the military was really get back in shape, because the last 2 years I was in, I just had a lot of surgeries, a lot
You
of.
trying to be a bodybuilder now? That's what I'm talking about,
Nah,
man.
I just want to be in, like you said, I want to be in better health, because there's a lot of things that you don't have to worry about when you're in good health. People in good
Yeah.
health recover faster than people not in good health.
Well, hold on.
And
Now, if
that's
you
a
want to be a
fact.
bodybuilder now, I got you. Now, I'm seeing that P.
Nah.
Diddy all package, and we got you covered, man. You glisten your body up, get in the weight room and stuff like that. We get you right. We get that jailhouse workout for you. You good.
Nah,
Just in that bodybuilding.
I just want to be, like I said, I just want to be I just want to be healthy. I just want to be able
Mm-hmm.
to, you know what I'm saying? Because I think about, like, now the injuries that we have, bro,
Mm-hmm.
something that took us a day to recover from when we was younger, it may take 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was out there, I had volunteered at my homeboy football camp, and I'm out there.
Why are you out there playing football? I knew you was out there
Hey,
playing
listen,
football.
no. I was coaching. So, the little
Okay.
kids, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna line up with them. The first
Mm-hmm.
little 40-yard, I was like, okay. After that second one, I was like, yeah, this wasn't a good idea at all. Like, I felt it. Man, I was down for like 4, 5 days.
Oh,
People was like,
man.
why
This
you
is
got a
it.
limp? I'm like, man, I'm out there with them young boys. Them young boys, they limp for like 10 minutes and then they could fight it off. Nah. I had to read, but I enjoy doing that stuff, because it energizes them, so it energizes me. But again, it
And
goes
you
to
passing
show,
along. You
yeah,
passing
right.
along
You know
success.
what I'm saying? And it goes to show, it was like, that age is gonna creep up on you. But the fact that I could go, because the first year that I went out there, I had just had my soldier surgery and I couldn't do nothing. I was handing out water, and everybody was, you know what I'm saying? Everybody was still happy, but I was like, this year I can actually get out there. I'm healthy, and I had a great time. And that's what it's about, So for me, that was success for me, because I
Mm-hmm.
was out there with the young kids. I was telling them what they could do. You know what I'm saying? They seen an older guy. They like, oh man, he still can move. He can do that. Okay. They may not be thinking about it right now, but that's a pretty good feat.
Yeah, especially you see a grandpa come out there and coach us.
Oh man.
That's all right, man.
This
I'm
guy
just
right
saying that
here.
that's good stuff. That's good stuff, man. You out there, grandpa coaching the youth, man. That's gonna be the sign there. But you're right. But like I said earlier, what you're doing, you installing something in them that it's like I tell people, you got to give back, right?
Yeah.
You're giving back to them and showing them what success can be like,
Yeah.
and you giving them the tools already. Will be their little tools, but people are talking, well, you just go out and coach, yeah, but you don't know the impact of you telling a kid, hey,
Yeah.
you did a good job, or
Yeah.
you didn't do a good job. You need to work on this, and then the next day when they work on it, they do good. You like, that's what I'm talking about. That
Yeah.
actually elevates and run over to other things when you're doing certain life. Because sometimes, unfortunately, with success comes failure.
Yeah.
You're gonna fail.
Yeah.
But how you take that failure and bounce back from it, it shows your character that you built from when you was a little
Yeah.
kid to adulthood. And then it shows you how you grow with your
Yeah.
environment. Because like we said, you happy. They did something for you and you did something for them. Like you said,
Yeah.
you hand out water one day, right? And you told
Yeah.
yourself, like, I ain't gonna be no water bar next year. Nah, this water bar shit ain't for me.
Yeah.
I'm big time. And then you say, you took advantage of yourself. You say, hey, I'm work on this, work on that. And next year, you're out there. Shoot, next year, you might be running the whole 40 yards. You might can run like 5 40 yards before you go start
Nah,
limping.
next
You
year
never know.
I'm not gonna do any of that. I'm just gonna be a coach. I learned my lesson. Like, I'm just gonna
you,
go out there. I'm gonna be a coach. I'm
you
gonna be
say that
motivated. I'm gonna
now.
be,
You say that now.
yeah.
And that's
Nah.
what I'm telling you. You say that now, but you're going to get out there, you're going to get hype. And those kids going to get you hype. And then you're going to be out there running 40 yard with them. You're going to call me back like, hey, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Now
say,
I'm starting.
I'm not even mad at you for that
Yeah.
because, like you said, you seeing their success build.
Yeah.
And now that you're
Yeah.
seeing their success starting to build within the lessons that you're teaching them now, it gonna motivate you to do more. Because, like I say, when you around successful people, you see some people doing successful things. What you do, you
Yeah.
emulate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong
Success
with
breeds
emulating that.
success.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not wrong with
Yeah.
that.
Nah,
So,
you right
tell
about
me how
that,
your hips
man.
gonna feel. Tell me how your hip gonna
Nah,
feel. So you might
I
gonna start.
promise you, I will not be out there next year doing that. I'm gonna
Yes, you
be.
will.
I no, I'm not. Listen, bro, and it came at a bad time too, cause like I had stuff to do, like right after
Uh,
that. So I was like, man, like, I had a limp. I was like, yep, this is my lesson. But that showed me some growth. Like, okay, yeah, like you
mm,
getting, bro. You gotta give another way. Let another
yeah.
coach come and run with them. You gotta give another way. But yeah,
But that's good. That's good. You're going out there, and that's the
yeah,
thing that people understand. Like I tell people, the
yeah,
more you go out there and help breed success with other people and teach the younger generation, do this.
yeah,
Set yourself up for success because that's one thing that we as our generations sometimes fail to look at the next generation and tell them, hey, this is how you set yourself up for success to build success
yeah,
wherever you see success is, because like I say, some people do see it as money, but some people see it as something else, right? Like I say,
yeah,
for me, I love money. But I need both too, 'cause I love my family too. So
yeah.
but I need money to do stuff with my family. So it's like, okay, pick what kind of success you want.
Right,
But
yeah,
you got to hang around people that's want to be, and then positive people. 'Cause I tell you all the time, when I first met you, that's one of the things that drew me to you because you was positive, you were driven, you want to be better than everybody else. And I have no problem with somebody want to be better than everybody because now I got something to chase. I
yeah,
want to be, I want to be better than him. That's who I'm chasing right there. I'm chasing them. I'm chasing the fox. Everybody say you got to chase the fox. The person that's running faster than you, chase that person. Because if you chasing success, no matter what type of success you got, you gonna one day either catch it or be better or
yeah,
just as good. So
yeah.
that's
Nah,
good.
you're
And
right.
then
You're right, man.
tell the next generation. So you keep doing what you're doing. Mine's the running. Okay, I get
Yeah,
that. I mean, you should run, but I get that. You know, we can run a marathon next year together if you want to.
yeah.
We can
Count me out.
count you in.
Yeah, count me
I,
out. OUT
I,
out. Yeah.
I,
Unless you need a
but that's
coach
what.
on the sideline, count me out.
You can give me some water.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll be a water boy, proud water boy, the best one out there.
But no, that's good stuff,
But
man.
yeah,
Everybody think.
yeah. But yeah, man, but at the end of the day, that's why, I was thinking about it as we was doing this. Drake got the song Everybody Want to Be Successful because being successful is a good thing. Nobody wakes up and say, I want to be a loser. I want to be third place. They say, I want to be the best. I want to be that guy. I want to be the person. Nah, you don't. I want to be the person that they talk about. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
So you just gotta, like you said, check your environment, check the people that you with. If you're not successful, then ask yourself, what is it about you that's keeping you from being successful, and then change it. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, success is a mindset, and like you said, I've seeing seeing a person come from where I'm from and be able to do the things that I've done. Me and my brother, we be looking back like, bro, we didn't have nobody that
Mm-hmm.
could show us the way. Now we know the way. Now we can go back and we can show people.
Yep.
And that's the
And
biggest
that's
thing.
what
Like
you're
I be
doing.
saying, like, look, like sometimes you have to leave what's comfortable. I remember this old coach used to tell me, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the only way that you're
Oh
gonna grow.
man. Oh man.
You know what I'm
That's the
saying?
truth. Boy, that
Like,
is the
so I was
truth.
like, okay, I
Your
go in
coach
the
was
room
smart.
and yeah. And I was like, okay, well, look, if there's somebody in here that's better than me or whatever, that's cool. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna learn everything they got, and I'm gonna be the best. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be successful, and so that's kind of just it. Like, and with success, just a lot of times you have to. I will always tell people, a lot of times when you're growing or you're doing whatever, it becomes a quiet season where you have to cut out a lot of
Mm-hmm.
noise because
Mm.
there's a lot of distractions that can come when you're trying to be successful. No matter what type of
Bunch of
success it is. Yeah.
bunch of distractions.
Yeah.
And for some people not trying to be a rude distraction, but it happens. And
Yeah.
like what your coach said, be uncomfortable, right? And that
Yeah.
goes back to my earlier statement, right? Sometimes you got to realize it's okay to fail.
Yeah.
It's okay. All
Yeah.
successful people fail. Like I say, you got people that I tell people about inventors, right? And that's usually my thing. Some people invent 1,000 things, and just that one thing that they invented that will hit. But
Yeah.
they didn't tell you about the other 1,000 failures they had before that.
Yeah.
But you hear about the one success they have, and they
That's
keep
it.
going for that.
Yeah.
So it's okay of being uncomfortable. It's okay to fail, as long as you learn from your failure and then keep moving forward. Because that's what most people get. Most people think that successful people never fail. They
Yeah.
never wasn't good at something. Like you said, you can't go out there and run no more, but you can still coach. Hey,
Yeah.
I went out there, I tried to run, I failed. Okay, my,
Yeah.
my body ain't what it used to be. I'm gonna go do something else. I'm gonna do a different route. Ain't
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. Do a different route and go for it. Like you say, you want to go for be an NBA basketball player.
Is
I'll
that
probably
right?
say,
Yeah.
you know what, you might want to, practice on 2K and be a 2K basketball championship.
Yeah.
Just
That's
do
probably the
the do
best.
the little dreams a little different, right? Alter little
Yeah.
dreams. Let's do some realistic dreams here.
Yeah. Nah, you're right.
But
But
that's one thing people keep forgetting. Well, go ahead.
yeah. But no, like we just said, man, the only way you're gonna be successful is you gotta try. Like you said, you may fail, but that's
Mm,
cool. I've failed at plenty of things, and that's fine. And like you said, once you get that, like it's people, it's people don't know a lot of the failures that I had in the military because they was like, man, this guy did this. Like I've done failed plenty of times in the military, but I'm like, okay, people ain't gonna remember that. They're gonna remember like, hey, this guy
mm.
rose above that. In life, it was a lot of things that I failed at, man. I mean, I will say I have tried and failed at many things, but they all made me a better person. I've done music, I've done inventions, I've done businesses, I've done all these things, but I mean, it gives you something that you can have in your
Mhm.
toolbox that you know what I'm saying? Like even if you failed at something, it could be the catalyst to you being successful in something else because you have some experience in that. And experience goes a long way. That's really all you need. You
Oh
need to
yeah.
fail so you can have experience. So when
Oh
it's
yeah.
time for you to be successful, you say, okay, I have these things that I've kind of looked at.
And I tell people that, just like you said, right? You got it builds experience. It builds tenacity. And that's why I told you that in 2030, that's why you should run for politics, because you got the speech that everybody want to hear. You're a common person. So we're going to make sure we put that out there, Garrett 2030. That we're going to do.
Hey, you never know.
Garrett 2030. I,
Yeah.
I could be your campaign manager.
Oh man, I'm trying to win, man.
Oh, man. Hey, didn't we just talk about failure? Sometimes you got to
Yeah.
fail a
Hey,
little
I gotta fail
bit.
my first one to be successful at my second one. I got it. But yeah.
That's all right, man.
But
What
no,
else you got, man? What else you
man,
got?
that's it. I mean, that's the biggest thing is, to be successful, you just gotta try. That's it. Really, that's all we saying. Try. Trying
And don't
is
give
being
up.
successful. Fear is
Yeah.
is is the lack of success because you're letting
Mhm.
something stop you. So my last thing that I gotta say is, hey, just go out there, try, try, try. Always give your best foot forward. Gain the experience because through the experience you're gonna gain knowledge and you're gonna
Mm.
be successful at the end of the day.
Shit, I can't follow that, man. Dang, you gonna took everything up, man. I can't even think right now. Okay, we good. We good. You
Well, all right,
see,
man.
I'm not even gonna try.
Yeah. Well, hey, it was good talking to you, brother. Until the next time.
You too, bro.
All right, man. Have a good one. Yep.
If you enjoyed the conversation, don't just listen, be part of it. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with somebody who needs to hear it. We're dropping real conversations every week, so tap in, stay connected, and don't miss what's next. Until next time, keep it real.